Life be lifing. We just talking Greazy. Welcome to the show. Hey, yo. What's good, gang? What's good, Greazy? Gang. Hey, we back. We back in the building tonight. The shop is open once again. The shop is open. So appreciate y'all as y'all come in. Please hit that like button. Please drop a comment. Just let me know you're in the building. And please, subscribe to the channel, man. You know what I'm saying? And then share the live to a friend so they can share it to another friend. They can share it to another friend. Who knows? They might share it to another friend. You know what I'm saying? But how y'all doing out there tonight on this good old Wednesday night? See what I'm saying? But we back. We back. Did you miss me? But we back in the building. You see what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna hold y'all long on the content. We're gonna go and get in the content, then I'm gonna drop the link and we're gonna open the panel up, bro. You feel me? And we gonna do what we do. So appreciate you. As you come in, please hit that like button, you know what I'm saying? Like one more time. But hey, it's Greazy gang. And one more thing we do, life be lifing. You feel me? Life be lifing, but keep your head up. Keep your head up. It ain't bad as you may think it is. See what I'm saying? It ain't bad as you may think it is. Zach Daniels, my boy. What's up, man? What's up? What's up, bro? Appreciate you for tapping in. Well, let's get into it, man. Let's get into a little content real quick. Y'all see the title. Leadership ain't loud. Why some men struggle in relationships. Okay. So, all right, man. Let's get started. So listen. Once again, welcome back to the show. You know what I'm saying? So if you pulled up, you already know what time it is. Like this ain't no relationship class. This ain't no gender war, no boot camp, none of that. This is just real life. Talking real Greazy. And respectfully. You feel me? Very, very respectfully. Now today's topic, now this one might, make some folks mad, uncomfortable with the whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? I apologize ahead of time if it does. You know, I ain't trying to make you mad, I ain't trying to offend you. Just it might be a little uneasy. You know, sometimes when the truth come out, it's a little uneasy. You know what I'm saying? So why some men struggle with leading in relationships? You know what I'm saying? Before everybody kind of get, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Now, or your jaws drop like we ain't bashing nobody. You know what I'm saying? We explaining because a lot of dudes think they actually be leading, you know, but really, you just present. You're not really leading. Really, you just present. See, leadership ain't about volume. It's about big trim, big trim. I see you out there, Spring Cloud. Appreciate you tapping in. It's about telling somebody. It ain't about telling somebody what to do. It ain't about I'm the man of the house. Whoop the woo. I'm the big guy. It ain't about that. Leadership speaks when the lights are off. The lights are off when ain't nobody looking at you. When it's dark and it ain't nobody but you and your significant other. You know what I'm saying? Like when nobody else can see it. That's when the leadership shows up. Leadership is presence. It's clarity. It's consistency. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the struggle come in. Cause let's be real. A lot of men weren't taught how to lead. This is us being honest. Now we just being honest. It is what it is. We just being honest. It's facts. Big Trill, I see you 5.7. What? Okay. It's facts. You know what I'm saying? Like most of the men were taught we were just taught to survive. Most men were just taught to survive. That we wasn't really taught to lead what we own today. We own leadership today, boss. Leadership as a man today. You know what I'm saying? Big difference. Big difference. If you taught to lead or whether you are taught to survive, big difference. Some of us grew up watching chaos, but calling it normal. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's bills overdue, whether it's arguments, in the background, whether it's your mama holding it down emotionally and financially, you know what I'm saying? Or your dad either missing, he's silent, or he just mad all the time. Whichever it may be to survive. Right, right. And that's it. Most of us are taught to survive, not necessarily actually to lead a family. You know what I'm saying? So now we get to the stage where we're grown and somebody asking you for direction, you like, damn, direction where? Like you confused, like you bamboozled, like you feel like she playing with you. You feel like she joking or she just trying to make a mockery of you or something. You know what I'm saying? Because you're confused in that moment. Because nobody ever asked you how you felt growing up. Okay. So nobody ever asked you how you felt growing up. Um, shoot, hold up, I'm sorry. All right, okay, there you go. Once again, link and pin in the chat. I'm sorry, I forgot to pin it. My bad. You know, they just told you to man up. Figure it out. Stop crying. Get over it. Cool. But nobody taught you how. So now leadership feel like pressure instead of purpose. You feel me? And let me tell you, hold on, let me see, man. My co-host. Hold on. Mic check, Miss Studio. Mic check. Mic check.
Good evening, gentlemen. How
Uh,
are you?
good evening. Good evening. I'm pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Let me continue on the content. Then I'm gonna let you get in there. Okay, coming up. All right. You good?
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So let me tell y'all something funny. You know what I'm saying? Like some men don't struggle with leading because they're weak. You know, some men struggle because they're scared. They're scared to be wrong out loud. You know what I'm saying? I struggle with it. I typically hate to be wrong. I ain't gonna lie. Like it is what it is. So uh, it's facts. I do not like to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? And see, if I don't lead, I can't fall publicly. You know what I'm saying? You see how they go together? You know what I'm saying? So if I don't lead, and nobody see me fail, you know what I'm saying? If I don't make decisions, I can't be blamed when it don't work. That's why you see men who say, I'm cool with whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, whoop de whoop. Yeah. And at first that sounds peaceful. You know what I'm saying? But after a while, that sounds like abandonment, you know, just kind of respectfully, you know, because women don't care or or they don't want a dictatorship. Yeah, women don't want that. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want a passenger neither. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to drive all the time. Sometimes women want to drive. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they want to get in that driver's seat. And then it seems like they want to drive when they're on the passenger seat too, because they instead of telling you where to go and where to turn, you know what I'm saying? Whoop de whoop. But but we ain't figuring it out right now. That's another one for a different day. But but they want somebody to say that, you know, I got us. Even if you ain't got all the answers, that woman still want to hear that. They still want to hear, I got you, or I got us, or don't worry about it. I got it covered. You know what I'm saying? They still want to hear that. And with them not hearing that, some of them women feel uncomfortable, or they feel uh, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Uneasy, or there's the word I'm looking for. I can't. We won't come to my mind right now. It'll come back later. But you know, but they don't feel the best in that situation. And for that, sometimes that just scares a lot of men to say that, hey, I got you, or you know, I don't have all the answers, but we're gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that scares some men because sometimes you ain't got a plan and you don't know where the next step is coming from. So you really kind of afraid to set it. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about it. You ever notice some dudes call themselves like leaders, but they can't pick a restaurant? That lady asked them, "What you want to eat?" You know, I don't know, whatever. You know, and she like, "Sir, you know, hey, if you can't lead us, you can't even lead. At least lead me to Applebee's or Cracker Barrel or something." You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna lead the household? You know, you want to be the head of the house or the family, but can't decide between fries or mashed potatoes. You know, talking about I'm just a laid back person. Hmm. No, you're an undecided brother. That's what you is. Because what people have to realize is leadership don't mean control. Like it definitely means responsibility. You know, some men want the title without the weight. You know what I'm saying? They want the respect without that type of sacrifice that comes with it. They want the authority. You know what I'm saying? But don't want to get that accountability. It's not leadership. Shoot, you probably can call that. What's that thing they do when they dress up as other people? Cosplay. You probably can call that cosplay or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't the same then. Studio, get in there. What you think? What you got for me? Talk to me. I talk back.
Okay. Since TJ said, I mean TG said, he not here to bash nobody. I'm finna bash y'all real quick, but don't worry. It's a soft, fluffy, decorative pillow kind of bashing. Like I'm not coming with bricks. I'm coming with a throw pillow from Target. You know, like the lavender one on sale, very soft, right? Just a tap tap kind of bashing. But from a
Nah, nah.
woman's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
leadership ain't loud because when leadership is loud, I feel like it feels like confusion with a microphone. Like a lot of women don't resist leadership, we resist the chaos wearing the crown. Like, see, I think it's more like the safety factor. Like, we don't, like, women don't feel led because a man announces, I'm the leader here. Like, that doesn't make us feel safe. that just makes us look around like, okay, but where are we going? Right? Like leadership to a woman feels like peace. It feels like consistency. Like he was saying, like it feels like a man whose decisions don't give us a headache because when a man is inconsistent, we don't feel led. It feels like we're a project manager at work. You feel what I'm saying? Like now with the type of men, well, I'm not gonna say type because I don't want people to think it's about any specific man, but it's more about the way that some guys act. Like we're scheduling the emotions, right, according to the plans and leading the leader. So like then men be like, why is she so masculine? It's sir, because you handled that, you just handed me the clipboard. You know what I'm saying? That's why the woman has to kind of like step up because it's like not conducive to what's going on. Read the room, sir. You see what I'm saying? I feel like real leadership is quiet. It's like when a man keeps his word. You don't got to be loud to do that. You know, a man who doesn't disappear when things get uncomfortable, a man whose presence make a woman feel relaxed instead of like strategizing the next move because she feels like he's incompetent to do so. Because women don't follow volume, we follow direction. So, I mean, I know he was saying like he wasn't trying to bash nobody, but I just wanted to, I'm not really bashing y'all. I'm just lightly tapping you with a decorative pillow of the truth because it's not cute when a man thinks that, oh, in order to be a leader, I need to like beat on you or something like that. And it's like, no, you don't. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could be you could be a leader. You can boss me around. Please boss me around. Tell me what to do. Okay. And it's the time and the place for all of that, right?
Mhm.
Grab me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Grab me. Hey, how you doing? But what I'm not finna follow is a man who um like steps out of the character of a person who is doing the best for both of our interests. Like if it's only benefiting you, how am I gonna follow that? A leader does what's best for the flock, not just what's best for himself. He thinking about the people in the household, the people that, in a work environment, like the supervisors thinking about the rest of the employees, you know what I'm saying? Like it's, the pastor is thinking about the congregation. Like you have to have a different type of heart to lead. You have to think a different type of way. And sometimes guys don't do that. It's them first. And I think that's why it fails sometimes.
Okay. Hey, good addition to the topic. But see, a lot of people here's the part people don't like talking about it. You see what I'm saying? Like some men don't lead because a lot of men don't trust themselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's a day problem, or our problem, or we problem as men. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, especially when we're leading a woman or a family, sometimes we don't trust ourselves to make these certain type of decisions. And that didn't start in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like that started in childhood early on. Every time you were told you wasn't good enough, or you always mess up, or let me do it instead of you doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like eventually you internalize maybe I shouldn't be in charge, or maybe I can't lead them correctly, or maybe I'm leading my family wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes even as an adult, even though this stuff happens in your childhood, when you get older, some of these things still creep back into your mind when you're faced with some decisions to make that will affect other people. You know what I'm saying? So when women looks at you and says, "What's the plan?" For a man at that point, his chest gonna tighten. You know what I'm saying? His brain gonna go blank because it's scrambling trying to figure out what to do. You know, not because you don't care, but because nobody ever trusted you with the outcome. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's real. And I think a lot of women don't realize that. And some men don't struggle with leadership because they care, right? It's simply because they don't trust themselves yet. I agree with that. Like confidence and leadership, I don't feel like it appears when you get older. I feel like it's shaped by what you saw growing up. So my mentors when I was younger used to tell me all the time, perfect practice make perfect. And so if you're practicing not doing leadership things, whatever you're practicing, you're going to what you focus on grows, right? So even as an adult, a way that I feel like they can combat that is they can practice doing like tiny things, right? Like leading in small ways to try to build that muscle back up so that your chest won't tighten, so that your mind won't go blank, right? Because if a man grew up in chaos and if you saw other men making bad decisions when he was coming up, or if he watched leadership fail or disappear or become abusive, then when it's his turn to lead, I can understand how fear shows up in his mind before the courage does. You know, I can understand it.
And to your point, great point on giving tips on what to do. But see, for a lot of men, instead of healing that, they excuse me, they hide behind jokes or they hide in silence or or they hide behind control. Whichever way it falls. You know, because let's be honest, we all human and we all have the capability of putting on different types of masks. The same wound, but just a different mask.
And
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
that's true too. Um, and from a woman's side, especially like when a man hesitates, I kind of want to go back to that too. Um, it can feel like instability. You know what I'm saying? From a woman's perspective. Like we may not see the childhood wounds behind it. We just feel the uncertainty in the present. So now both people are like reacting to pain that they didn't create. Like his is reenacting the fear and she's reacting to the lack of direction in that moment. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I understand men hiding behind it, you know. But that's not a reason to like give up or to shy away from leadership because real leadership starts when a man decides. Like I may not, when he say stuff like I may not had, may have not had the perfect example, but I'm gonna become one. And that's a decision that a man has to make, right? Because it's not about having no fear. It's about moving forward even when fear is like whispering in your ear. Sometimes a man doesn't lack leadership. He just hasn't healed the part of him that's afraid to lead.
I see, great point. And see, we gonna flip it because accountability kind of lives on both sides. You see what I'm saying? Not so much on the woman, but it's just a tad bit on that woman too. Because sometimes men struggle to lead because the relationship don't allow room for them to lead. You know what I'm saying? And if every decision that
Mm.
that man make get questions, or she trying to re-edit it, or she overriding what he's saying, eventually that man gonna stop volunteering his information. Eventually he gonna revert back to, okay, whatever you want to do. It's all on you. I
Mm.
mean, that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because he tried so many times, and every time he tried, it got overridden. And it's like, okay, what I'm trying for, you won't let me lead. Leaderships need some space of trust too. You even if you think that man is incapable of leading. Some people will say you shouldn't be with him in the first place then anyway. But even if you think that man is incapable of leading or not leading correctly, you still got to create kind of a safe place for him to lead. because that's the
Mm.
whole point, you know. But here's the catch: you can't just ask for trust, and this is what I mean. You can't just ask for trust from that woman if you're not showing up consistently with it neither. Now you see what I'm saying? Like you can't ask to lead if you disappear kind of when it gets emotional. You know what I'm saying? You can't say follow me if you don't know where you headed to. I mean, it is what it is. Like leadership is something that you do daily. It ain't just um I show up for the I show up to lead you on the 4th of July every year, but the rest of the year I'm absent. You know what I'm saying? Like no, it's a daily task or deposit or however you want to put it. It has to happen daily. You know what I'm saying? And not just big speeches, but action.
So first, I think we need to define leadership because, like, a lot of problems come from misunderstanding that word. Um, Leadership isn't about control. It's not volume. It isn't just making a final decision. Leadership is responsibility for direction. That's all it is. Responsibility for direction. So it means that you think ahead. You consider the people connected to you. You make decisions with wisdom and not ego. You take ownership when things go wrong. So from a woman's side, yes, that headship does need space, and you can't say you want a man to lead, but question, override, and correct every decision he makes. You're right about that because that creates confusion and not partnership. But there's also accountability for the woman because I feel like you're right about that too. Because sometimes we, as a woman, like step into control when we feel uncertain or unprotected or unheard. That's the big one, right? Or emotionally alone in a relationship. So when a woman overrides a man, sometimes it's not rebellion, it is literally us reacting to instability. And that's what I need y'all to understand. You get what I'm saying? So what does accountability look like from a woman? Well, a woman's accountability and leadership looks like respecting decisions once they're made, right? Even if she would have done it differently. It looks like you good? Okay.
You good?
Oh yeah, I kept hearing noises. I was like, what is that? Okay.
Oh,
I was saying like a woman's accountability and leadership looks like respecting decisions once they're made, and even if she would have done it differently, right? It looks like giving input without trying to control the outcome. It looks like not competing with his role, but supporting the direction. It looks like communicating concerns with calmness and not criticism. It looks like trusting his process if he's shown himself to be trustworthy. If he's shown himself. But accountability for a man in leadership looks different. Because, see, on the other side, men also have to be accountable for the kind of leadership that they're asking for, right? Like, you can't demand trust before you built it, you have to build it first. So, I mean, for a man, I would suggest that he be consistent, right? If men are trying to be accountable in leadership, like be consistent. Like if your decisions change with your moves, then no one feels safe following it. I would suggest that he communicate, his thought process. Because leadership isn't like silent dictatorship, like TG said. When a woman understands your reasoning, that's when the trust grows. Like, and I also would suggest like taking responsibility for outcomes because if a decision goes wrong, you need to own it as a man. Don't blame her. Don't, or life. Oh, this was life. Life happened. Like, bro, come on. Or circumstances, right? Like, take accountability. I would also say like be proactive and not reactive. Leaderships mean thinking ahead and not just responding when things fall apart. And then finally, you would have to lead yourself first. because your emotions, your habits, your finances, your time, your discipline, right? All that stuff. If you can't lead your own life, it's hard to lead a shared one. You can't go and bash this woman and tell her to go get in the gym because she got a little pudge, but you look like you 9 months pregnant. You don't have discipline. You don't got no discipline in the gym, so why do you feel like she's gonna follow your discipline if you don't have any? You see what I'm saying? So I feel like headship in that way, that leadership, it does need trust, but trust needs to be evident, clearly able to be seen, right? And respect needs stability. So when a man leads with wisdom and consistency and humility, then a woman naturally relaxes into that space. She can bask inside of her femininity and she's going to naturally like gravitate toward being more submissive to you. And then that's when a woman's gonna respond with the trust and the respect and the support that and then that leadership can become stronger. Do you get what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. See, me, I believe leadership is that's like saying, I'm still learning, but I'm not running from the situation. You know what I'm saying? It's waking up every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't have it all figured out, but baby, sweetheart, whatever you call her, your significant other, I'm present. You know what I'm saying? It's choosing stability over ego. Communication over pride, and men have a lot of problem with pride. You know what I'm saying? And then growth over comfort. Some men don't struggle with leading because they can't. Like we are naturally made that way. They struggle with leading because sometimes it requires a lot of self growth, and that is hard for some people. It's hard. It's easy just to say, "Hey, this me. This how I am." Woo the woo. Either you like it or you don't. Like, hey, I ain't changing. It's easier to say that than to say, I need to heal. Or can you help me through this? Or like that's the easy part. That's the easy way out. Just to say stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So another thing we gotta be honest about, some men struggle with leading because they confuse peace with avoidance. You see what I'm saying? They think leading means no arguments, no tension, no uncomfortable tasks. Like, no, it's bigger than that. So instead of steering that relationship through rough patches, through trials and tribulations that you're gonna have in a relationship, they let it drift and they call it just, oh, we just vibing. Like, no, no, leadership is being willing to sit down in the discomfort that you're feeling in that moment with your significant other and without folding. You know what I'm saying? It's saying we gotta talk about this even when your stomach is in knots. Even when you don't have the perfect words, you don't know what to say in the situation. You kind of speechless, but you showing up, you being present, and you saying, "Hey, I'm still here and I'm still willing to talk about it." Some men would rather lose their relationship than to have a hard conversation. Like for real, like dead to life, like real talk. Like lose the whole relationship instead of having a hard conversation. And it's
That's
not because
emotional
they don't care.
immaturity. That's emotional immaturity. Go ahead.
Hmm. Okay. And it's not because they don't care, but because nobody ever taught them how to handle them emotional situations. They might have grew up in environments to where emotions wasn't expressed a lot or wasn't talked about or got ignored. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
uh, um, it would never evoke a point for them to understand it or to be taught it. So all they seen with it being hidden, and later on it was looked at all good. So now I'm an adult. In this moment, a woman expresses some dissatisfaction or some discomfort or she don't like some a certain way. Now my nervous system is going crazy, and the first thing I want to do is kind of leave this situation because growing up, all I seen was you ignore the situation and then it comes back and it's better.
Let me ask you this. So I feel like that's a growth problem, right? So if growth requires like confrontation, then why does so many people choose silence and call that maturity?
Well, it's according, but okay, so we you still are you just generally asking that question, or are you still on topic? Let me ask that question first.
Well, I'm on topic because you said like
Okay.
people will leave a situation, or become silent, right? Because they saw like, for example, their father handled a situation like that. Like, oh, we just not gonna talk about it. And I know that some people feel like that's like being mature. Like, oh, this is how my parents used to do it when I was coming up. Like, whenever a problem came up, they didn't really say anything about it. So that's why I was saying, like, if growth requires confrontation, then why do so many people choose silence and call it maturity, or leave and call that maturity?
Well, because so many people have grew up and it's been spreaded in society that um avoiding situations. See, a lot of times what we do now is we tie all these situations together. See, now if you was to say um somebody went out there and had a confrontation in Walmart, and they walked away. Yes, that's maturity. They didn't let it escalate into nothing that will put them in jail. They didn't let it escalate into nothing that will hurt nobody. That's maturity. But what we have done as society is tie that into relationships.
Yeah, I was gonna
See,
say,
that's a different type of thing.
right, in
And so and
relationships.
right, and
Hmm.
that's where you get what you're talking about. Your question, that's where you get that from now because society has tied that into relationships, and now when a person is having a disagreement with a significant other and he walks off or he leaves, now that's considered maturity because we have mixed the two together. But in reality, it's not because if this is your significant other, your wife, your husband, I mean, whichever way you want to put it, you should be able to sit there and have the hard conversations without it resulting to somebody leaving. That's what you call what you said a while ago, emotional maturity.
Hmm. So, I mean, I feel like that's real, right? A lot of people were trained to avoid confrontation before they ever learned how to handle it, right? And some of us
Hmm.
did grow up in homes where conflict meant like yelling and breaking things and stonewalling, or some people know that it's like the silent treatment or emotional shutdown. So walking away does feel safer, and it felt mature, and it felt like the only peaceful option. But the problem is what you what protected you as a child can limit you as an adult. You see what I'm saying? Like in a grocery store, walking away might be maturity. In traffic, walking away might be wisdom. But in a relationship, walking away from a very hard conversation slowly turns into emotional distance. And so now two people are calling it peace, but really nothing is being healed, nothing is being understood, and nothing is growing. So I feel like true maturity isn't. silence, true maturity is knowing how to confront something without destroying the connection. Because avoidance keep things quiet, but confrontation, if you do it with love, is what actually make things better. And so maybe the question here is like, well, I feel like maybe the issue isn't people don't want to be confrontational. Maybe they don't know how to be confrontational because that word does have a negative connotation to it, right? When you think confrontational, you think like, oh, I'm going back and forth. And that's not what it is, right? It's having a conversation with love, trying to fix the issue. And I feel like that ties into leadership because the man has to be willing to listen to that woman to hear where she coming from. The woman has to be willing to listen to that man and hear where he coming from so that it can get resolved. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I get you. I get you. I'm in agreement with you on that now. I mean, you should be able to um have them tough conversations with each other. Instead of avoiding them, instead of running, instead of hiding, instead of uh leaving, you know, the situation because uh if this is someone you try to spend the rest of your life with, you're gonna have plenty of them. So are you gonna leave every time? Like, that don't look too good. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you're gonna be perpetually lonely if you keep leaving. Like every time, you know what I'm saying? Every time you argue with this lady, and you're like, "Oh, this is why I don't date." See, this is what I'm talking about. Women, all women want to do is argue, and it's like she could be trying to fix the situation, or maybe she had a idea, like a solution that you didn't think of because you were heated in the moment, right?
Right.
So I've learned like sometimes it's really best to just listen to the other person because sometimes they might think of something that you didn't even realize was the issue. And then you like, you know what? Oh, yeah, I did do that thing. And now I understand why I triggered you and why you behaved the way that you behaved. Now we can move forward because I now know not to do that thing to you as a man. And you now know that your behavior, the way you reacted to me doing that thing, was not favorable to me. So everybody learns how to move forward, how to act around each other. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got to train them.
Oh, whoa. Whoa. Whoa now. Well, there you got that train thing. We had that the other night now. People talking about training somebody. Like, we don't do no training now.
Is it not training though?
We ain't doing no training. We leaving that train word alone. You can say we might work together, but to train somebody, no, we ain't gonna say train and men in the same sentence. We can't say that. Nah, I can't let that ride. You know what I'm
Well, why
saying?
not?
This just don't sit right together. Them two words together in the same sentence. Train men, like that don't even sound right. It sounds like he the stay at home dad now. And the woman is a provider and the leader of the household and everything.
No, you just imagining.
That's
You
what it
done went
sounds
in the
like to me.
whole.
No, I'm just saying that's what it
That's an
sounds like to
interesting
me
way to look at it.
when I hear that when I hear trained men. That's what I see. That's what I see. A trained man is a stay at home man. He sitting up there, he changing pampers and stuff like that, and he got the flow sweat when you get home. He might even have dinner cooked. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely see him like that. Yeah. No, we can't do that. Not over here. Not over here. Yeah, Lord, not over here.
Well, when I say you
No.
have to train someone, I mean on how to treat you. I don't mean like you're raising them like a child or trying to control them. What I mean is people learn your standards by your responses. Every relationship is a classroom because I mean not because you're giving lectures, but because your actions teach people what is acceptable and what isn't. So let me give you an example of that. If if you get with a lady And every time you talk to her about her hair, she starts crying and she doesn't respond to anything that has to do with that subject. She just busts out into tears and like weeping, like boo hooing to the point where it invokes emotion inside of you. Whether you get standoffish or upset or sympathetic, it evokes emotion inside of you every single time, right? Okay. And so then that woman is now training that man to never ask her that question or anything that has to do with that subject, because if he don't like the reaction that he gets, which is her crying, he's going to simply avoid it. You see what I'm saying? He's going to avoid it anyway. If someone disrespects you and you stay silent, you just taught them that disrespect has no consequences. If somebody cancels on you in the last minute and you keep rearranging your life for them, you just taught them that your time is flexible. If somebody honors your boundaries and you appreciate it, you just taught them that respect is valued here. You see what I'm saying? So the training isn't the manipulation, it's consistency in your standards. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can
I
follow you
was
down through that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that a better word for training is like conditioning the environment where
Mhm. Can we just say we work together, not necessarily train? Let's just say we work together as a couple. You know what I'm saying? Can we just say it that way instead of train? Train just sounds so off when you talk about a man. I just don't like that. But I
okay.
get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying. Like, but see, let me see it this way. I, you have some men that don't lead because they don't feel chosen. You know what I'm saying? Stay with me now. Stay with me, okay? You with me? Are you here? Mic check. Three, two,
I'm
four.
here.
1, 2. Okay, good job. Okay. Most men, some men don't lead because they don't feel chosen. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. If you always feel like you gotta earn that love, you gotta prove yourself, you gotta compete, you gotta perform. You always feel like everything is like a performance on Broadway or something. What?
Right away.
Um, I'm sorry. And yeah. A person feel like I'm sorry, I got misled or something. Feel like they gotta perform. Like so that requires that man to not lead with confidence, and he's leading with fear. He's leading with fear now because of what he has to do so much to even feel, like he's chosen. And a fear based leadership is it's like control silence or disengagement. You know what I'm saying? Like you either try to dominate the relationship or you disappear inside it. Like and not feeling secure enough to fully be seen is tough when you're talking about a man. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't feel like that woman trusts him enough or believe in him enough to do these things, then he feel like every time he have to prove his love for her, he have to reinforce her confidence in him. Like that takes a toll after so much. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
I'm
I get
sorry.
what you're saying, and I don't necessarily understand the framework behind what you're saying. Could you elaborate more on it?
Um, um, oh, you could elaborate some more. All right, cool, B. Hello, disappear. Why you put disappear up there? Oh, that's I
That's
disappear.
what you said.
No.
No,
Oh,
that's what you said.
okay,
You
that's what I
remember
said.
saying
Okay,
it?
Sometimes I be talking so much I be forgetting what I said. What I'm saying is,
What?
if a man, sometimes I be talking so much I forget what I say. Like that's real. Like it does happen. Um, that's why. That's why I don't like to lie. Or I try. That's why I don't even try to lie because I'll be to forget what I told you. But anywho, um,
Mm.
that's what I was saying. Some men don't lead because they don't feel chosen. I mean, some men don't lead because they do not feel chosen by that woman. Sometimes some men feel like, okay, this is just she's just here to be here. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily here for me. You know what I'm saying? So
I
at that
mean,
point that man feel like he gotta prove himself every time. He gotta compete every time. He gotta perform every time for you to even believe or have any confidence in him to make these leadership type decisions.
well, sometimes women don't fully choose a man because she don't feel safe enough to risk in his leadership yet. So now both people are waiting on each other. You get what I'm saying? Like I get
That's
it. Like
facts.
if a man feel like he's an option or just filling a seat, I understand how they can drain his confidence. And leadership requires, investment. And it's hard to invest deeply where you don't feel chosen. So I get it. But she's waiting to feel led before she fully chooses.
I guess. You know what I'm saying? But if you there, you should be trusting me enough to at least lead you into these decisions as a leader of the house or the household or the family.
The fact the okay, so if I'm there, I should be okay, here we go. You said if I'm there, then I should be trusting you enough to lead. Well, sir, I am trusting you enough to lead. That's why I'm here. That's the trust right there. Me being here. I'm waiting to see what you're gonna do. You're the leader. Like, what you mean? Like, I don't know about that now. I mean, but leadership and choosing each other are supposed to grow together. Like, if he's leading with consistency and direction and character, and she's responding with trust and softness and support, over time, his leadership makes her feel safe to choose him. But that's over time. It's not gonna happen like instantaneously. You gotta give us something to work with. Like her choosing him gives him the confidence to lead better. That's how it works. It's not, oh girl, I see you be my woman. And then she like, okay, I'll agree to this. What you finna do? What you mean what I'm finna do? Like, sir, this is your chance. Show out, you know?
What if he don't want to show out? What if he don't want to just show out? He just want to do it silently. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be seen by you, but just not loud. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
call
So
it
yeah, so
call it what you want. I just want to see it because how else am I supposed to make a informed decision? What, I'm just supposed to like read your mind or something? Nope, that's witchcraft. What? I can't read your mind.
and they make a song about that or something. Yeah, I think so. Um,
A rap song. I know a rap song. It's saying
Read your mind, a rap song.
unless you're talking
I'm
about
not
an
sure.
R&B song from the 90s.
Yeah, I think it was an R&B song. I think,
Oh, he
but
was talking about something else though. He was talking about them sugar walls.
oh, oh, my bad, my bad. And one thing as men, we gotta understand too. A lot of men think leadership is just finances only. You know what I'm saying? Like if I pay the bills, I'm leading. You know what I'm saying? No, bro. Like that's called providing. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
Very
it's a
important now.
lot of men that think
But
that. Like, I ran into men who said stuff like, oh, well, if I'm going to work every day, why come you can't have a job and come home and clean and cook and tend to the puppy and cut the grass? It's like, sir, what you gonna do? Because if we both working, that makes it equal, right? Like, what do you mean? You want me to do all this extra stuff and you're not gonna help do anything? So you know what I'm saying? Like that comes from a mindset of a man who believes that leadership is just going to work, bringing home the bread, and then he's still not paying the bills because she got to go and go throughout. He give her the money and then she pay the bills. You see what I'm saying? It's like you just bringing home the bread. I'm organizing and doing all this other stuff. Like, what else are you gonna do? You see what I'm saying? It needs to be a partnership, not like that's all I want is just to come home to a hot meal and kick my feet up and turn on the tube, or play the PlayStation and drink a beer. Like every single day though, that's what you want to do every single day. Like that don't sound like leadership. I know people who do that for their teenage sons.
Mm, mm, I guess you're right.
For real.
I don't know him. You say you know him. I
I
don't
do.
know him. But,
I do.
but
I know a lady right now, son living with her. He's 17 years old, got a good paying job, a nice job with the state. And he go to work, come home, his meal already cooked because his mama cooked for him, and then he get on the game and play the game all night. That's how you treat a child. He don't go and conversate with his mom like that. He don't help around the house, take out the trash, and you know what I'm saying. He just
yeah.
come home and play on the game. So if I could do that with my son, and he drink beer, she buy the beer. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm,
if I could do that with my son, why I want a man to do that too? Like that's not a relationship. That's parental care. Like that's not
that's funny.
leadership for real.
But I'm just saying, because men got to understand, you can pay every bill and then still be emotionally absent for that woman. You know what I'm saying? After you took care of everything, you can still be emotionally absent for that woman. You can find a household and still leave that woman lonely.
So what does emotional leadership look like from a man's perspective?
Um, mm, let's see. Well, the emotional leadership ties into being able to have the 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 tough conversations without getting mad or without it going left. Like you're actually able to sit down and have that type of conversation.
What about when he
Um,
get angry? What does that look like?
what you mean? What does it look like? He angry? What you mean?
Oh, okay.
What you mean? What it look like now?
I'm just saying, like, I'm okay. So what I think, um, okay, you good?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rock out.
Oh, okay. What I think is, I don't know. Usually, it looks like too many feelings with nowhere safe to put them. Um, because I grew up with brothers and with my dad in the house and stuff. So I know men are taught growing up, like, don't cry, don't complain, don't look weak, fix yourself, be strong for everyone else. So instead of learning how to process emotions, many men learn how to like store them, for lack of a better word. So, like, when you store everything, like stress and fear and rejection and pressure and disappointment, like it all start mixing together. And so that's the emotional mashup, right? And so, like, what I was saying, like in anger, like for example, like anger that really hurts a man. What that emotional mashup would look like is like him snapping over something small, but it's really about the feeling of being unappreciated, or the feeling of rejection, or being overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the small thing at all. Or like in silence instead of communication. Like in this example, he would like do something like shut down because he doesn't have the language for what he feels like to verbalize that to the woman, right? Or in the situation of like avoidance disguised as peace, for example. Like he'll say something like, I just want peace, but he really doesn't want to deal with the emotions that he can't control. You see what I'm saying? Or like when he's overworking or he's distracted by something. Like I feel like a man to react like when with the emotional mashup in a way that he stays busy or plays games or drinks or stays on the phone because that movement feels safer than the reflection he can be doing inside of himself. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, especially like if a man fears the leadership, because he's probably thinking stuff like, what if I fail? Or what if I'm not enough? Or what if I become the man that I said I never be? And so all those emotions like fear and pressure and love and insecurity and responsibility, they get mixed together into like one heavy feeling that he just can't name. And that's what I call the mashup, right? So from a woman's perspective, she might just see distance or anger or inconsistency from this man. But from his perspective, I imagine it being like pressure, the pressure on him to provide for his family or the circumstance, or the fear of failing, or the desire to be respected, and not knowing how to express any of it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like that emotional mashup in a man doesn't always sound like sadness. Like I feel like sometimes it comes out in silence or stress or very short tempers. You get what I'm saying? You on mute? I can't hear you.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Shoot. I'm tripping. But yeah, yeah. I follow you with that. I follow you with that. But so I'm just it's a I'm trying not to hurt nobody's feelings with this. But it's a struggle sometimes. Um yeah, okay.
Boo!
Yeah, I see you.
Boo!
Uh it's a struggle.
Boo! Put it up.
Huh? Oh, yeah. It's a struggle sometimes with men, especially with this type of thing because like I said, um, because we're not taught sometimes. Us, a lot of us ain't. Man, I can't say all of them not. Some of them are taught, but for the vast majority of it, a lot of men is not taught. We only taught the struggle survive. I mean, to survive. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you get to be an adult, and it's like, okay, it looked like it worked. We know with my parents, so or with my parents, or whichever way it may be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
and so it's confusing because when you get to that point in your life where you got to start doing it, you thinking, okay, maybe this is how it's supposed to go. But it's not. So it works a little bit,
Does
not
it?
like it should, but I think it works a little bit, but not like it should because that's not the way that it should work.
How should it work?
Oh shoot. Uh it should work the way we explained it tonight. Uh Not the way of of a survive. I mean of being taught how to just survive. You know what I'm saying? Not the way of you running away from issues or disappearing emotionally. You know what I'm saying? It should you should be able to talk to them without it being a problem. You know what I'm saying?
But
But
what if
sometimes
men
you
don't
can't.
know how
But
to? Yeah, go ahead.
and that's the thing. Like, and sometimes you can't. It's hard to guide or lead a relationship or a family if your own individual life is kind of chaotic. You know what I'm saying? Like, and see, and I'm still learning this too. And this is just me being
So,
honest. It's still some stuff I'm still learning because
but you saying
um
chaotic, you saying chaotic, and it's
it,
like, isn't that something that people supposed to learn how to like deal with though, like in therapy?
yeah, but everybody can't afford or be willing to go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? So the only people going to therapy is the people that think they can afford it or act or want to act like they can afford it. You know what I'm saying? The person that's in survival mode or all he know is survive. Like he not going no therapy. He trying to save that money to make sure he got enough to pay his light bill. He
Well,
trying
that's
to
what I'm
save that to
saying.
make sure.
If you in survival
Oh,
mode, you don't need to be dating because you can't think straight no way. Don't date if you broke.
I'm on the fence with that. Cause
I'm not saying broke people don't need love. I'm saying it's harder to sustain a relationship if you're broke. Because if you're in survival mode, assuming you're the type of broke that's in survival mode, like you're not living under, a bypass or nothing, but you got a house, you got a car, you got a job, but you struggling paycheck to paycheck. You shouldn't be like, because if you one paycheck away from like being out on the street, you need to focus on upping your income so that you could be comfortable, so that you could have the capacity to have and deal with your emotions. You see what I'm saying? Because emotions are a thing of life. This is not something that just happened to just one sex of people, or something that just happens to only women or only babies, or like, no, it happens to everybody. We all feel a plethora of emotions all the time. And so whether you learn it as a child or not, learning how to use those, well, I ain't gonna say use, I'm gonna say manage your emotions. It's still like a huge part of a relationship, and living with somebody and staying with somebody, even if you don't live in a house with them, being able to manage your emotions and being able to communicate those things, it's like a huge part of any relationship. You see what I'm saying? It's so important. So, like, that's why I'm saying it. I'm not saying like, shame on the people that's broke. Like, no, life happens. Sometimes, you go to school for something. I know people with master's degrees who can't find a
life be
job.
life.
Yeah, because like the economy is so bad. I get it. But if you're struggling that bad and you're in survival mode, and you have like, your emotions are fried, your bandwidth is fried, your nervous system is fried, and you're not going to be able to have a capacity for another person because you can't even deal with yourself. That's why I'm saying that. It's to protect other people, not to shame you from not finding love. You know what I mean?
I can understand that because you put enough spin on it. Then okay, I can understand that because that always came off as you saying, "Oh, if you ain't got a certain amount of money, you don't need to be dating." Like,
Nah, you was
but
just
then as women, huh? Do it.
go ahead.
I said, but then as women, we turn around and expect these things from men, whether it's going on dates, whether it's buying birthday presents, whether it's buying, whatever it is, we expect that from the women. But most of the women would say, "Hey, if you broke, you should be dating."
But see, that's the
But
thing
then,
though. If a man is in survival mode, he can't even remember his birthday, let alone remember hers. He probably working on his birthday too. You see what I'm saying? So how he gonna remember her birthday? Of course, a woman don't want a man in survival mode. He ain't even got time to think about me. Like you say, you want to pursue me, right? So if you're trying to pursue me, sir, then you need to be thinking about me. Like that's how it works. if I say that I'm trying to date a guy, right, I'm gonna have to think about that guy, spend time with that guy, do things with that guy. But if I'm in survival mode, that makes it like that much harder to do, to spend time to think about, because I'm thinking about this bill. I'm thinking about this mortgage that's coming up, or this car note that's $1,200. And we ain't even got to the insurance. You see what I'm saying? Like, if that's your mindset, you don't need to be dating right now. You need to wait until you can increase your income. And that way you'll have, it'll be like a peace of mind. Because if all your bills are paid and you ain't worried about eating, you're not worried about paying your bills, you're not worried about your medical bills, then you got enough time to remember somebody's birthday, or to remember that their favorite color is green, or to remember that she like peonies instead of roses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but no, I was gonna say something. Oh, I was gonna say, what type of car you got? You must got one of them new Teslas or something. If that no 1200, you must got one of them new Teslas, one
If
of
your
them
car
AI
know
generated.
$1,200, if your car know $1,200, it means one or two things. You either got a lot of money or bad credit. This the only, because why is your car not that? You know, a lot of money mean a very expensive car or bad credit. But you know,
Yeah,
whatever.
I was just, yeah, I was just joking because you said. I was just joking though, but
I don't know. They rolling out with these cars like, shoot, a Tundra is like $78,000 now for a base model. So I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I just see somebody buy one. I don't know. They might be. I don't know. I hadn't looked at them in a while, but uh, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, you might can find one for 68, but
I don't know. They said they putting safety in them things now. You put your own little personal safety in there, which I think is neat. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
in a Tundra,
uh, yeah, yeah.
I don't
I know
know.
I got it. I know I got it just bought a 26, and
Mm,
you got actually two safes in there. There's one in the like the armrest. Excuse me. There's like one in behind under the back seat too, something like that. Um, but yeah, so I mean I
I
don't know
don't
how much they
know.
cost. Like I said, I hadn't looked at
Shoot,
them recently.
shoot, you mess around and get that double cab. You know what I'm saying? You get that capstone double cab or that crew
No,
max. You spending about 80,000 miles, and they don't get nothing
no,
but
no.
19 miles per gallon. Yup.
Who won't want that?
And,
Everybody want that.
I mean, it's a lot of people drive trucks now. Toyota just one
19,
manufacturer.
19 mile per hour. Hey, Toyota the best though. That's the thing about it. Yeah, we getting off on vehicles.
I'm just saying, you
Uh,
know. I'm just saying.
you saying what? Toyota's the
No,
best?
nah, I was just saying, we was
Oh,
talking about the 2026 Tundra, and I was just saying it's gonna cost you a pretty penny. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause we was talking about like $1,200 a month for, and I was saying you could get like a regular Toyota Tundra, and it's still like 78,000. MSRP. So, and it's only getting 19 miles per hour.
yeah, I don't want that.
That's all I'm saying.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You just about to put gas in it.
That's the capstone. That's all it
I
is, a
can't do
gas
that.
guzzler.
Yeah, that ain't my cup of tea.
Um, Sound like you drinking whiskey then, cause Toyota, Toyota showed that tea with the lemon on it. Like, if Toyota was a drink, it'll be a sweet tea with a lemon. Real
You think
simple.
so?
Real simple. Yeah. Heck yeah. Toyota, you get inside of a Toyota, it ain't even got a whole bunch of buttons. Like, a old person with triple focals could like operate a Toyota. It don't even have a whole. But if you get inside of a Mercedes, like the G wagon or something, it's like a million buttons inside the. Like it's crazy. It looks like a spaceship on the inside.
Not a spaceship.
Man, it's too sophisticated for me because I was gonna get one last year, but when I got inside of it, I was like, I would have to read this entire manual before I could even drive this car because what does all you don't even need this many buttons. What do they do? Like, does it take flight and take me to space and come back? Like, what is going on? Is this button a direct line to Jesus? Because I need to know, you know? But for real,
Yeah, that's funny.
for real.
That's funny.
But yeah,
So,
leadership is kind of loud, or is it super quiet?
mm,
Leadership is a whisper.
a whisper. Yes, that's a great way to put it. It's definitely a whisper. But some men like to just enjoy, the companionship without responsibility, or or if I never make plans, then I don't have to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like some
Mm.
men just enjoy uh uh the aspects of reaping certain benefits of just being with the woman, not necessarily want to lead the woman.
Oh, because you said the other night, why a man gotta make all the plans? Why you can't plan some?
Right.
Now, tonight it makes sense. You just trying to enjoy the benefits and aspects of a one. Oh,
I mean, can you
put
blame
that
me?
put that thing up. Ooh, I set that up there.
I
Put that up
mean,
there.
I
I'm
mean,
looking
can
at you
you
like
blame me?
this.
Because women, I mean, y'all are very beautiful creatures. Like, so, I mean, can you blame a man that wants to just just live without the back or responsibility of everything? You know
But
what
you
I'm
leaving
saying?
like a
Like,
trail of broken hearts. Like you're literally leaving the trail of tears behind you. Like, why would you want to do that? Why are you trying to hurt people? You know what I'm saying? Just just leave the women who want a relationship alone and just only talk to women who trying to have some fun because it's a plethora of them out there. It's women who really don't even care. They don't even want to know your name. They just want to have fun tonight. You know what I'm saying? Go talk to those women and stop picking these women with all these great values who
what
do
they at?
things. You gonna have to come out your bubble to go find them. It's a bubble that you in. If you can't find them, you the problem. You in the wrong place. Cause they
Oh
out there.
my.
It's a lot of them out there. It's a lot of them out there. It's way more women in this world than it is men. So I struggle to understand why men always come on this podcast and they say, "Well, where are the women? Where's this type of woman?" And it's like, sir, you're not doing your due diligence and like looking in the right places. If you know you like a specific type of woman, go to a place where that woman is. That
I mean,
specific
but
woman.
that
So right
that could
now
be
you talking about a
anywhere.
streetwalker. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. That's where you need to be looking anywhere and not just in one spot. Cause right now you talking about a streetwalker. Go find a lady of the night. You know what I'm saying? Go find a party girl if that's what you're trying to do. And leave these women who trying to be settled down with 12 kids alone. You can't turn a woman who want 12 kids
Well,
into your wife if you weren't trying to have no prodigy.
hmm, I kind of like the way you put that, but
Talking
I don't
about you
like
want
it
to
what it
freak in the
was.
sheets. I'm just saying that's the truth. Talking about you want to freak in the sheets, but you choose a woman that's a Puritan. Come on now. She ain't gonna know nothing. She ain't gonna know what you like. You gonna have to
She
take
could,
out time and
what you
teach her.
what did y'all say? What you said earlier? They could be taught.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna stay with her. So what's the point of wasting your time teaching her all the stuff that you like and you already know you're not gonna be with her. You just trying to have fun. It ain't gonna do but frustrate you and break her heart. You see what I'm saying? Cause now you gotta become a teacher. and she don't know what's going on because she a Puritan. You know what I'm saying? So come on, come on, man.
I guess I can see what you're saying on that.
I'm
You
saying
know,
find find a lady in your price range and stick to that if you want a relationship. But also find the type of woman that you're trying to deal with. And it don't take long to figure out. All you gotta do is ask her what she into, and she gonna tell you. If she ain't into nothing, she gonna say nothing. Just like that. It's simple. Yeah, these if you ask the right questions, these women will tell you what they want and they'll tell you what they looking for. And then you can make your decision based off of the questions that you ask, but it's gotta be good questions. You can't ask her one question, or a three word question like what you doing? What? That ain't a good question. It's not gonna give you the information that you need. You need to ask a more detailed question so that you can get an elaborate answer or open ended answer, so that you can have make a informed decision. I'm talking too fast. And that way, when you make an informed decision, you'll have your answer to whether or not you want to be with this woman or not, instead of sleeping with everything that got a orifice, including the plants and the trees and the fish in the sea.
I don't know about the fish in the sea now. The plants and the trees neither. But
You say
anywho,
that, but when they open their mouth, it's shaped like an oval. That's all I'm saying.
hmm,
Oh Lord, I'm giving you ideas. Let me shut up.
never thought of it like that. But anywho, um, I don't think there should be no price range anyway. Like I hear what you be saying, talking about date within your price range, but I don't think that should be a thing.
What? Why not?
Don't because I think you can't put a price on love. So just cause
Everybody don't want love.
that's true, but we're talking about leadership in a family dynamic, so we're talking about love too at the same time. So
Oh, okay.
I just don't believe that. No, I just don't believe that it should be a price on that. I believe everybody has the capability of dating anybody they want to. If you love them, you love them, regardless if she make 100,000 a year, 20,000 a year, $2 a month, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Even if she's a
mm,
multi-billionaire, you a collar guy. Like you still have, if you in love with her, you just in love with her. Like
but see,
regardless of
I don't know. I agree that love itself shouldn't have a price tag, but
ouch.
leadership always comes with stewardship. Because love may be free, but relationships are not cost free. Like they cost time, energy, attention, responsibility, and yes, sometimes money. And a good leader doesn't pretend that those costs don't exist. He plans for them. Like leadership is knowing your capacity. And if a man is building and growing and stabilizing his life, there's wisdom in choosing a relationship that fits his current season so that he can lead with confidence instead of pressure. Because like when a man dates for like far outside his means. You there?
Mm-hmm. I'm listening to
Okay.
you.
When a man dates far outside his means, because that's what I mean when I say pick a price range, right? When he dates far outside
Mm-hmm.
his means, two things usually happen. Like he starts either he starts feeling inadequate or he starts resenting the cost of the relationship. And neither of those create a healthy leadership. You know what I'm saying? Cause like I know that happens because I dated a guy like that one time. Like we were going out and doing stuff all the time, and then he started complaining, and he was like, "I'm spending a lot of money on this, and I'm spending a lot of money on that." And I was like, "Whoa, like you ain't gotta make it like that. Like if you want me to pay for something, and just say it, you know what I'm saying? But if you trying to spend time with me, that's gonna come with, you know what I'm saying? You want to go out, you want to We want to do stuff and create new memories and experiences together. That kind of stuff costs money. It costs money to go kayaking, bungee jumping, skydiving, skiing, stuff like that. Go out of town to a little villa. All that kind of stuff costs money. So it's not about putting a price on love. It's about leading within your provision and within your peace and your purpose. And a good leader doesn't promise what he can't sustain. He builds something that he can maintain. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I say dating, like find a price range and date inside of that price range. Like find a woman in your price range. That's what I mean.
I guess it. That's one of them situations where, and I don't know how you believe it, but that's one of the situations where I'd be like, you know, they both kind of right on each other's spectrum.
Okay. So you could look at it like this. Like, okay, so like a price range. Look at it like more of a season in life. So every man is in a different season, right? You either in the building season, the stabilizing season, the recovering season, the growing season, or expanding season. You with me so far?
Yep.
And and the woman he dates should fit the season he's in, not just the fantasy he has. So it's not about saying like she costs too much. It's about asking, can I lead, this kind of life right now without stress, without resentment, and without insecurity? Because leadership isn't about the love right then. It's about sustainability. You see what I'm saying? Like if a man is still building his foundation and he dates someone who lives in a luxury or a luxurious lifestyle, he may start to feel like pressure instead of joy because he gonna look at her and be like, "Oh, she had a Gucci purse yesterday, and now she got a Balmain purse, and her shoes are Louis Vuitton, or her shoes are Chanel, or she got this Cartier ring on, and all she wears Tiffany jewelry." And she told me that she want her gift to be a Tiffany necklace or a Tiffany bracelet. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like if he dates someone who pace, right? Whose pace, expectations, and lifestyle match his current reality, then he can lead with confidence instead of comparison. He won't be comparing his wallet to the things that she like if he wants to get her something nice. He's not saying like, oh, I can only afford this $500 Coach bag. I can't afford this $1,000 whatever. You know what I'm saying? This $1,000 Prada bag for her. So if you look at it that way, it's not about putting limits on love. It's about choosing a relationship where your leadership can actually thrive. Like that's what I mean when I say like find a price range, find a woman in your price range and stick there.
Yeah, I get you.
Because women
I
are
get
not cheap. It don't matter where you go. You still gonna have to lead her. It don't matter if you get like, a socialite luxury loving woman
you.
and
Definitely.
versus like a country girl. Well, on the outside looking in, the country girl got her hair in a ponytail and her nails are dirty. But what you're not looking at is like that Louis Vuitton bag is actually costs a lot less than it is to buy a horse that she want on her farm. You see what I'm saying? And now you need to have the skills of a carpenter because she wants you to build her a chicken coop. And once you get one chicken, you can't just have one chicken. You're gonna need more than one chicken. And then she's gonna want geese and ducks. And then she's gonna want a goat. And those things are not cheap, especially like if you in the maintenance on them, feeding them. You know what I'm saying? She gonna have you to buy some land, and that's way cheaper than a luxury girl going out to eat, paying like $100, a day on food, and carrying around, a Chanel bag. Because at least with the luxury girl, you're paying the expense up front. With a country girl, you're gonna be spending that bread on the daily, and it's not cheap. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to figure out what works for you as a man.
I can understand that. I can understand that, but I don't know. I feel like you kind of telling me to kind of limit yourself to a certain type. Mm, I don't know.
Why you say that? Why you say that?
I don't know. It just seems like trying to find the words that I need to put into uh not good words sometimes.
Well, it's
um,
not that I'm saying like limit themselves to a certain type. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not telling them to limit themselves to a certain type of woman. I'm saying a man should be honest about what kind of life he can lead right now. Because leadership isn't about chasing what looks good, it's about sustaining what you choose. And so
but
a man doesn't go ahead.
what? Okay, you said sustained at that very moment. Okay, but who's to say um you aren't his moment?
And you could be his moment, and that's fine. As
You
long
know?
as y'all got a mutual understanding about that, then that's cool. Because I've even talked to people, and told them like, hey, I'm in an in between season right now. I'm looking for this, that, and the other, and I'm not looking for marriage right now. Is that okay? And he was like, "Yeah, that's okay." Like if you'll be surprised how transparency can make stuff a whole lot easier so everybody will know where they at. You see what I'm saying? Because and
Yeah.
and I've had guys tell me that they were in certain seasons. Like, hey, I'm in like a building season right now. So I'm looking for the type of woman who can help me build X, Y, and Z. And I was that for him in that season. And then when he built whatever he was doing, we had a conversation like, hey, I see that you done built everything that you do. Do you need me anymore? No, I really don't. Thank you for everything you've done. And we parted ways, no hard feelings. You see what I'm saying? Because I
Um,
agreed to that. Like, if we come into it like, oh, okay, we're just dating, like we're not finna get married, but I need to follow this leadership because this man is in a season. Like, I don't it's a lot of women that agree to that. You see what I'm saying? But you would never know unless you ask.
right.
Cause that might not be what she looking for, or it very well may be what she looking for because maybe she in a building season too and she not looking for like a lifetime partner right now because she too busy building. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see what you're
Like,
saying.
I don't feel like a
But I'm
man
just
limits himself by choosing wisely. He positions himself for success. Go ahead.
shoot. Oh, baby. Um. Wait, hold
I'm just saying, like, if you pick a
up.
relationship that constantly makes you feel left behind or stressed or inadequate, you're not elevating yourself. You're setting yourself up for pressure.
Yeah, that's easy to be seen. But I don't know. I just don't like the fact of how you said it, like the separating the amount that you make it. Like I ain't trying to say. I ain't trying to say you need to make 20,000 a year. And you trying to date somebody that's a multi-billionaire. I ain't trying
No,
to say
it's not.
that.
Yeah, it's
But
not about
it,
an arbitrary number.
but the number is what puts you in the category.
Well, what I'm saying is a good leader doesn't take on more than his responsibility can carry. You see what I'm saying? It's not because he lacks ambition, it's because he respects the weight of what he's building. So if a man is building his foundation and he chooses a relationship that requires a penthouse lifestyle, then he's not thinking like a leader, he's thinking like a dreamer. You see what I'm saying? A leader builds the foundation first and then the penthouse comes later. But if you're choosing a penthouse woman and you ain't there yet, you're gonna start to resent the relationship or that woman. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, why you always need this? Why you always need that? You don't need an Uber for me to take you here and there. You don't need a chef to come in tonight. You don't need me to buy, to hire a maid for you to clean up while you do this with the kids. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna understand it because he's not there yet. So it's gonna create that tension in a relationship. So why would you choose a woman that's outside of the stage that you're in right now? You see what I'm saying? You could choose that woman when you get to that stage. Because what if you build it and it don't take long for you to build? 6 months to a year. You see what I'm saying? And in that 6 months to a year, you find you a nice little girl and your price range, somebody you could talk to, chop it up. She supports you, she helping you build. And then, it's you get into another level or whatever, and it's not yet working out anymore. You let her go. You tell her like, hey, this not working out anymore because I'm done building and now I want a penthouse girl. Or you don't got to tell her you want a penthouse girl. You could just say, hey, we've grown in different directions. You know what I'm saying? And then find you the penthouse woman because now you're at that status. Does that make sense?
I mean, yeah, and everything you said related to it makes sense. It just, I don't know, maybe I'm just not fond of the wording. You know what I'm saying? To where it to me, it downplays the fact that love is so strong out here for people. So it down. Um, I lost my train of thought. Oh Lord. Um, yeah. So it kind of downplays it out here. When you kind of put it together like that, because then I think people interpret it a different way. Then, not to your point of how you saying it, how you explain it, is how you mean it. You know what I'm saying? But when people interpret stuff a certain way when they hear certain stuff, and I think that's just me, the way I'm interpreting it off what you're saying. Like, but
Like I hear you, and I don't want to sound like I'm putting men in a box or a shrink in love. That's not my heart behind what I'm saying. Like love is big and love is hopeful and love makes people dream beyond what they are. And that's a beautiful thing. But leadership asks a different question. Leadership asks, can I carry what I'm reaching for? You see what I'm saying? So it's not about like limiting men or putting them in categories. It's about alignment. And when a man and a woman are aligned in a lifestyle, the pace, the expectation, love has more room to grow without constant strain. Because when love is always under pressure, it starts to feel like an obligation instead of joy. You ain't never been in a relationship to where you felt like it
hmm,
was so much pressure on you because this woman is so much more than you can handle right now. She's asking you for this and she's asking you for that, and you ain't necessarily got it because you building. That ain't never happened to you.
yeah, it have.
Didn't it
But
put
I still
strain on that relationship?
yes, it did. But I still uh I don't know. It's just me. Like I still kind of wanted the love there.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. Cause
Like even though it still didn't make it. It still didn't seem like it was going great. You know what I'm saying? Because to your point, she's asking for a lot. It's at that moment of me building that I felt like I can't provide. But a man, a man that has what we'll say survival traits, then he gonna feel like, or he gonna think in his mind that and that I can one day fulfill what she asked.
And I'm not
You know
saying
what
that
I'm
he
saying?
can't. I'm just saying a good leader doesn't chase what he can't sustain. He builds something strong enough to hold the love he wants. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's not about putting men in a box. It's about making sure that the foundation is big enough for a life that they're trying to build. That's all. I'm not trying to shrink love. I'm trying to protect the leadership that sustains it. And that's what this conversation is about.
Facts, big facts. You know, I don't know, but I get what you're saying. I do. I truly do. Um, Maybe I just don't want to accept that way. Excuse me. Because to me, if I accept that, then to me, in my mind, it's like me saying, "Yeah, I'm kind of giving up on myself, or I ain't gonna be who I
No, you
think
ain't
I should
gotta.
be, or this is
No,
my mindset, you know."
no.
And
It's just that now that might happen. I the, I can see a couple of reasons why a person would think that, and that's if they're complacent at where they are and they don't want to grow into more. If you're in a relationship and you're complacent to where you are right now, and that woman is stretching you for a wider foundation, and you feel like, hey, I'm kind of at the end of my building, and this is as big as the foundation as I'm gonna build, but she's stretching it more, and you feel that strain on a relationship, I can understand why you feel that way.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying, but like I said, I don't know. It comes off different to me. Like, but to your point,
I get it.
um, to your point that you stated earlier, like, why would you put yourself in that position? I mean, sometimes you put yourself in that position for love, and just hoping that you can somehow create a great family. You know, with this person that you're seeking. You know,
Ain't nothing
and you
wrong
don't
with
want
that if
you
it's
don't want
clear.
to give up on yourself, um, saying that you are thinking that you can become this great leader that this woman is asking you to be. You know what I'm saying? So you continue on till you feel like you get it, or till you see yourself better in a situation.
But you also have to allow yourself to grow into that potential of being in a better situation. Because you can think all you want to, oh, I can be more or I should be more. But if you get frustrated inside of that and you stop growing, then you're not going to be the leader that you want to be.
That's true. Oh shoot, that's true. Um, no, because I just, like I said, the only reason I'm fighting for that so hard, because like I said, if a person grew up and he's in survival mode most of the time, now he got to get to a point to where he got to switch out of survival mode into something into what's called uh
I don't know what you'll call it.
yeah,
But thank
uh,
you for having me on tonight.
uh, my mind went blank again.
It's okay. We all have brain farts. You want me to
That
close
what
it
they
out?
call them?
This has been
Yeah,
Talking Greasy.
yeah, you can close that whatever you. This, hey, I'm your boy. I'm your host, Talking Greasy. Um, please like, share, the comment. Like, share, and comment. God, dog. Um, on the live. And like I always say before we get up out of here, if you got somebody you love, go tell them. Go spend time with them, because what someone is going through today could easily be you tomorrow. Right? That's your boy. Hey, Stay blessed out there. Stay safe.
Yeah, and tonight we talked about leadership in love and the space it takes to grow. I don't know. And maybe the real takeaway is this, right? Love isn't just about feelings. It's about you're being prepared to carry. And leadership isn't loud. It isn't rush. We're when we both build with wisdom, they last longer and the excitement is never, you know, old, right? So I feel like y'all should have a good night tonight and stay, reach for leadership. This has been Talking Greasy. Good night.